This country enjoys some of the most varied and the most breathtaking scenery in the world. From highlands to lowlands, from borderlands to lakelands. I'm determined to explore them all. But there's more than that. My mission, if I choose to accept it, is to take on a challenge left for me by an unseen hand. Catch a dragon. Easy. Each of those challenges will force me to get under the skin of wherever I am, however demanding they are. Whoa. Today, I'm going into the Cotswolds, a range of glorious limestone hills running the length of Gloucestershire. I'm off to explore more of beautiful Britain, and I've got all the things I need. A super warm, fleecy fleece, stout walking boots, and ibuprofen. But where on earth am I? Well, I appear to be in a Mogul pavilion, a tented room built by exotic Easterners. Quite clearly, I'm in the North Cotswold Hills. Because this is the extraordinary Seasin Cot House. Built in 1805, just as British India was becoming the jewel in the crown of the world's largest empire, it is probably the craziest of the stately homes that pepper the Cotswold landscape. It's definitely a one-off in country houses, because after it was built by a descendant of Samuel Pepys, it was considered rather dodgy to show off how much money you'd made out east. And more conventional houses follow, but what a starting point for my journey out to discover the excitements of the Cotswolds and to exhibit a giant vegetable. That's my challenge. OK. So, not only do I have to find a giant vegetable, it's clearly got to be good enough to compete in a village fete. Mind you, this is an activity that goes to the heart of Cotswold life. The medieval wool trade made the Cotswolds wealthy. The term Cotswold is a combination of the word cots, meaning sheep enclosure, and wolds, which is Old English for upland hills. The Cotswolds rise up from the western end of the Thames and stretch out into 6 counties. Home to the rich and powerful past and present, this region has one of the lowest population densities in England, preserving the peace and tranquility of the countryside and the towns. And the first stop on my journey is one of those towns, the quintessential Chipping Campden. Visitors flock to villages like this, 50,000 Japanese tourists alone every year. The thing that distinguishes the Cotswolds when you get amongst it, of course, is the stone. The beautiful honey-coloured, buttery... the stone. I mean, it's everywhere. It's like the entire town is built out of pastry. I think that's what people love about the Cotswolds. It looks good enough to eat. But the truth of the matter is that that lovely colour is produced by rust, iron oxide that occurs naturally in the local limestone. The more of it there is, the deeper the ochre colour. I think I've spotted what I came in search of, a paradise of local produce. Ah, yes! Nirvana. This gives me so much opportunity. That looks like a pretty big spud. Pretty big spud? Of course, the big problem for me is now that I only know a little bit about vegetables. Could you help me out? Sorry, I've got a little bit of a challenge on my hands.
Right.
OK. Which is to find a gigantic vegetable. What is the largest vegetable that you have here, then?
I would say a marrow.
A marrow?
Yes.
Right, but that's not, by marrow standards, that's a sort of average marrow.
That's a smaller marrow.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can get bigger than this?
Oh, yes.
Where would I get bigger than this?
From the farm.
Around 80% of the land in the Cotswolds is used for farming. And when it comes to fruit and veg, there's only one man to see in this part of the Wolds, and that's Andrew Drinkwater. Market gardening is big business here, and Andrew's team grows everything from apples to watercress. This is a field of courgettes, marrows.
Marrow.
No, I was right the first time. A marrow is a cucurbit. It's from the same family as melons, cucumbers and courgettes. A marrow is simply a courgette that's been given amnesty and allowed to grow a little longer. Andrew, that's pretty big, isn't it?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Let's feel the weight of that one.
Pick that one up.
I'll just feel the weight. Oh, yeah, wow. And will they... Now, marrows, they just go on growing, do they? Until the frosts come.
Yes, they do. And the frost would kill the plants, and then that sort of stops.
Yeah, I think the one we passed, that's the one we want, because, to be honest, I don't want to disappoint you, but we could spend the best part of a day here, couldn't we? Let's get this one, if I may.
That could be a show winner.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There you go.
That's a real beast. And the weight. Yes, already I feel a certificate coming on with a big 1 written on it. Oh no! A bigger one! No, it isn't, it isn't. Now that I have what I hope is a giant vegetable, I must find somewhere I can show it off. The question is, where? The trouble with having a prize-winning marrow, of course, is it's very heavy, and I'm looking for something to ease my burden. I need a form of slow transport to take in the slow Cotswolds. And this looks slow enough. Balloonist David Pearce is going to take me up to see this glorious countryside from the air.
What about that? So, David, we're free and we're going up.
We are.
What's astonishing and magical is that we've risen at an incredible speed and immediately, of course, picked up the wind.
Yes.
Listen to that, we can hear a dog barking that clearly. Here you just travel in the most stately pace across a ravishing landscape. Trees and hedges. The wolds themselves just a little bit flattened out from this angle. But it rolls away. A completely rural landscape. What you see from up here is a beauty of intervention, of the way that human beings make patterns on the land. Just a simple ploughed field is an exercise in lines. It makes human beings seem the most tidy and ordered inhabitants of the planet. Loads of unexpected things. Tennis courts, swimming pools, Lamborghinis. Oh, that must be Jeremy Clarkson's house. Well, it was enchanting while it lasted, but unfortunately, we seem to have landed in the middle of nowhere, though no field goes uncultivated in the Cotswolds. Of course, this is the other thing they grow around here, barley. Now, all I need is some water, some yeast, and some hops. And what have I got? Well, I've got beer and a cart horse to drink it, and drayman Roger Hughes.
He does enjoy a point in the food as well. It's good.
And that's your best ale, is it?
It certainly is.
Is it?
It's a bitter, yeah. And
How many pints does he get a day?
only the one.
Only the one?
Yeah.
He is spilling quite a lot.
I know.
Yes, and he looks powerful enough to complain if somebody spills his pint.
I think it's the sugar in it as much as anything really, I suppose. But
Yeah, that's what I used to say as well. It's the
lovely.
sugar in it that
It's the
made me
sugar
love
that
it.
needs it.
Not at all the alcohol or
So
any of
you-
the flavour. It's beer delivery time here in Hook Norton. That's what draymen do. And as always, I'm happy to take a lift.
And these are local Cotswold horses, effectively, are they?
well, they've been bought in the Cotswold, yes, bred in the Cotswolds, and trained. And we've had them for 10 years each, and they've been on doing this job for that last 10 years of delivery.
Now it's my chance to learn something about draymanship, the art of fine beer delivery. This is the bump mat.
If you can't work out what that is, then I can't help you. Oh!
And then rolling off.
Roger's going, look
No.
at that! That's let the weight take it over. And all right! There we go.
Fully fledged drayman.
I don't think so. I don't mind doing the barrels as long as I'm not left for the horses.
At last, I think I might have spotted exactly what I'm looking for, though. The Winchcombe Country Show, August Bank Holiday Monday. That's today. I'm in the Cotswolds, and I've been challenged to exhibit a giant vegetable. Well, now I have the veg, and I'm on my way to Winchcombe Country Show.
Gorgeous, isn't it? A glorious day. And I'm pleased to be able to show it to my marrow. Marrow, look. Look. Lovely fields.
A signpost. Just what I'm looking for. But no mention of Winchcombe. I'm in the little village of Windrush here. And a lot of the names of the villages in the Cotswolds, the Loads, the Colnes, the Leeks, the Bournes, anything that has those ancient names in them refer to the rivers or the streams that run through them. And the vast majority of them are tributaries of the Thames, which rises in these hills. Windrush is also the name of a river, and this river flows through one of the prettiest towns in the Cotswolds. I'm still 12 miles from Winchcombe, but as it's a bank holiday, maybe there's a fete here where I can show my marrow.
Any fish? No. No. That's a pity.
The town's distinctive footbridges have earned it the nickname Venice of the Cotswolds.
I'm in Bourton on the Water. That's Bourton. This is the water. It wasn't originally here. In fact, they diverted a mill stream, so now it runs right the way through the middle of the town with 5 bridges across it, and it's only 10 inches deep. What on earth can you do with water which is only 10 inches deep? Well, you can play football in it, can't you?
Every August bank holiday for more than a century, a game of football has taken place here in the shallow waters of the River Windrush, and today is that day. Naturally, I've been cajoled into playing for one of the teams. The guy in the tutu is the ref, but don't be fooled. This brand of water football is notoriously tough and rough.
So I'm starting on the substitutes bench. You may think, a person like me, playing in football in 10 inches of water is a new thing, but I was in the 3rd 11 in my house at school. We always played in a waterlogged pitch. it's not slippery underfoot. It's just dangerously savage.
I think this is what they call medieval football or mob football. Take two mobs, one ball, and throw away the rule book. I'm going to need a bit of advice.
The key is to flick the ball and volley. Throw-ins, win the header, don't play off the full.
Valuable words of advice from Coach Scott there.
Come on.
I promise I'll put them into practice. You've noticed the number 10 shirt. I think that might be wishful thinking on the part of Bolton Rovers captain. My ploy with potentially dangerous scenarios like this is to try to look as if I'm mucking in while actually keeping a safe distance. Except, of course, that sometimes I find myself standing in the wrong empty space. Then, out of nowhere, surely a minor offence in comparison to the rest of the chaos that's going on here, I'm accused of diving.
Oh, really? Thank you. Good effort. I was just getting into it as well. If I'd just been able to play a bit longer, I'd definitely been able to score a goal. I feel sure about it.
What else would you expect on an August bank holiday? This is Winchcombe Country Fair, and I'm just in time to enter my marrow into the giant veg competition.
There we are, the perfect place on a perfect day. The Rocky.
Morning.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm here with a very important purpose in mind.
Yeah?
I understand that this is where I come to exhibit my giant marrow.
That's right, yeah. Vegetables are all down the side here.
Right?
This is the heavy marrow.
Oh,
club.
okay.
So it look like we're
Wait a minute.
expecting
Can I go
competition
there?
too. You can go there,
I can
yeah.
go there, and I can put my
That's right.
exhibitor number.
Vegetables are not the only things seeking prizes here at Winchcombe Country Show.
I walk along here and I can see at least 100 ideas for major television reality game shows. Jam It, a great jam competition. Hook It, the nation's favourite hooked rug. Knit One, Pearl Two.
The Great British Cast-Off.
It's going to come.
Like all the other hopeful competitors, I need to vacate the marquee and leave my impressive offering to the scrutiny of the judges. The village parade swings into action, marking the official opening of Winchcombe's annual Knees Up. It's an opportunity for a bit of lobbying and a bit of tractor driving. Anything to take my mind off those judges.
Well, it's a tense time because the judges are making their final decision and I'm just enjoying the fate, as many are. The Japanese tourists have all disappeared, the Americans are hiding in their hotels, but the British come out to the fate. Of course they do. There are more fates in this part of the Cotswolds than anywhere else in the entire United Kingdom.
It's midday, the judges have made their decision, and the country show has been officially opened. It's time to see how my marrow has fared against the local competition.
This is an exciting moment now. How do we get on? The marrow of marrows, or just an also ran? I don't have to go any closer than this. I can see next to my diminutive courgette, there's a positive dinosaur's poop of a marrow. Ah, look at that. Well, what can I say? I don't think that is a marrow. Surely that isn't a marrow. That's a sort of, that's a Venezuelan gourd. Look at that. I can't even lift it up, it's so heavy. I didn't win, but that wasn't the point, was it? My challenge was to exhibit a giant vegetable. Not to win, as I believe Wellington said to Napoleon, it's not the winning that's important, it's the taking part. In that particular case, Napoleon didn't actually agree with him, but I have to say now that I exhibited, I took part, and I met the Cotswolds.
And that was well worth doing.
I'm not leaving this behind. Anyone want to buy a marrow? Anyone want to buy a marrow? Marrow for sale.
Next time, I head into the borderlands of England and Wales, where towns look like film sets, hills are awfully steep, and fire-breathing dragons are thin on the ground.
In a moment, Tracy vows vengeance, and that spells big trouble for Carla next in Coronation Street. And an explosive new entertainment show comes to ITV tomorrow night at 8. It's not rocket science.